Hello, good evening and welcome to the Dutching channel. And what we're going to do now is tomorrow's selections, but we're going to do them with a slight difference because when we use an exchange like Betfair, the liquidity isn't in the prices in the evening and we don't really have a clue what they're going to end up. So what I did last night was just give you the selections, and by midday today I'll put a new video on there with the Betfair prices, which is a lot better to do. So what we're going to do tonight is a little difference, because not everybody has one of these exchange accounts, or not everybody knows how to use them. So what we're going to do now, we're going to start off with the first race tomorrow, which is going to be the Southwell 155, and we're going to do it exactly the same. I'm going to say to you, right, the top selection is, then we're going to do it a little bit differently. So Samurai 1 will be my top selection in the first race at Southwell. And what we're going to do, we're going to use at the races, which is not one that I normally use. And the first thing we're going to do is look for Samurai 1. And right across the board here, you can see that 11 to 8 is the going price. The ones that are normally in these little boxes denote the best price with the best bookie. So we're going to say that 11 to 8 is going to be the best price tomorrow. So 2.375, that is the price plus 1. I used to be a bookmaker, so I roughly know all the prices anyway. So that tells us there that we would need £42.11 on the stakes to return £100. Our second selection is Tiny Tantrum. And Tiny Tantrum is, we'll have to look here, right, I think the best one there is Virgin Bet at 10. So we'll put in 10, and again it's asked us to put £10 stake on it, and we haven't got that much. We've got £7.89, so that's the maximum we can put on to return £100 for Samurai 1 if that wins. And time for the calculator as usual. So the SP at Virgin Bet would be 10, times it by 789 would give us a return of 78.90. So 78.90 would be good because we're only laying out £50. We'd win 28, nearly £29, and Samurai 1 would give us that elusive £50 win for a £50 stake. Right, and remembering that the high street bookmaker is not going to take any deductions. So in this results column, I'm going to put VB. So we knew, going back to that at the start again, that would be Virgin Bet. If we don't put anything in there, it's because it's pretty much everywhere the same price. Now also, if you remember going back to yesterday's video, I've got this green box at the bottom. This tells me how much that race should be worth. So 2,379. The worst I think is around 1,500 with what I'll do. So this is pretty much a poor race. And the SPs are all down there what I think that they're going to be. But we'll cover that. I'm going to cover that in another video. So I'm not going to tell you about this green box or the SPs anymore on what we're going to do now. I'm going to make a separate video for that tomorrow. Into the second race at Southwell. This is the 225. Now you can see that I don't often use this because now I've got to see. Right, there we go. Right, the 225. Only 4 go to post here. And our top selection is Great Samurai this time. And this is trading second favourite. And the best price is 100 to 30. And you've got to add that 1 point every time. So 100 to 30, if you was to put that in your calculator, would come up at 3.33 recurring. And you need to add 1 point to that. And I always go 6 points after the decimal. So 4.333333. And a stake is required of £23.08 to return £100. And this is bet, well, I don't need to put bet, I'll just put 365. Our second selection is post no bills. And post no bills is pretty much the same price across the board. And I think the best there roughly is 100. Well, there's 7 to 2 there at William Hill. 7 to 2 I think is the best. So 7 to 2, 3.5 plus the 1 is 4.5. And that says we need stakes of 22.22 to return £100. So we'll put WH in there for now. And our third selection will be Fiston the Beacon. And the price here is favourite. And its best price is 11 to 8, which with the point is 2.375. Now we can't afford anywhere near £42 on it. All we've got left to go is £4.70. So we will put the odd £4.70 on. That will be our maximum stakes. And £4.70 times the 2.375 would give us £11 back, which is better than nothing when we're thinking we've already got 2 here to get 100 back. If the favourite was to win it, would expect to lose. And £11. So Great Samurai and Post No Bills would be our 2 selections. Again, if you was doing this with a high street bookmaker. And we will run through these again at the end, so we will be able to see what high street bookmaker that we'd have to use most. Then you would see how many accounts that you're going to need instead of 1 exchange account. Into the third race. This is a no betting race. So again, line through that and forget it. Into the fourth race at Southwell. Exactly the same again. Horses that have not seen a race course or not under any kind of rules, so we don't touch the race. Right, into the 4 o'clock. Only 4 go to the post. There's some small fields tomorrow. And we'll click on the 4 o'clock there. Have a look at the runners. Yep, all 4 go. And the price is, our top selection is Ruler of the River. And Ruler of the River is favourite and roughly 7 to 4 everywhere. We know we've used William Hill in the last race, so we'll use William Hill again. 1.75 is 7 to 4 plus the 1 point. And the second selection is Our Pink Lady. And Our Pink Lady is second favourite, and the best price is at Bet365 at 9 to 4, which 2.25 plus the 1. Now we've already laid out 36.36 to get £100 back at 2.75 on Ruler of the River. So it only leaves us £13 and 64 pence to play with. There we go. So calculator for the second one, £13.64 times 3.25 SP gives us £44.33 back. So not far short of getting our stake back if our Pink Lady was to win. But if the favourite ruler of the river was to win, we would get our £100. So it's not far off a cover bet there. It's not, it's better than just whacking your money on one horse and it loses. Right, into the 6th race at Southwell, which is the 4:30. And again, no non-runners as it stands. And 6 go to post for this race. And our favourite is Kian. That's the way that's pronounced, Kian. That's best price at 365 at 11 to 1. So again, with the point on top, comes to 12. And we need stakes of £8.33 to return £100 for Kian. Our second selection is Flying Fortune. Flying Fortune is second favourite, best price 5 to 2, which with the point is 3.5, and that best price will be at Bet365. Stakes of £28.57 will return us £100. So far with the 2 bets, we've laid out £36.90. Our third selection is Hostile Hotelier, which is favourite and currently trading at 9 to 4. We know we've had a bet with William Hill, so we would take the 9 to 4 there, just to cut down on accounts. That's all it is really. So we had laid out £36.90. We had £13.10 left, which is the maximum that we can have on Hostile Hotelier. Do that right. I said £13.10. So £13.10 times that by 3.25. And again here we've got Kian and Flying Fortune. Either one of those two would return us £100. And if Hostile Hotelier comes through and wins, we're going to have £42 back. So we're only going to lose £8 at worst in that race if one of those 3 wins. And into the, I think that's going to be final. Yeah, into the final race at Southwell, which is the 5 o'clock. And we can see in the 5 o'clock that 6 go to post. Again, no non-runners at the moment. Mostly a bit early for that. And our top selection is I'm On My Way. And I'm On My Way is favourite. And right across the board here we can see that the best price is 13 to 8. We can either use Bet365 or William Hill because that's where we seem to have gone for most of our bets so far. So 13 to 8, 1.625 plus the 1. Is stakes of £38.10 to return £100, and that is taking a big chunk of our money out because that is favourite. And to come second, we've got Camilla's Choice, or our second selection is Camilla's Choice, and that's down the bottom here. Biggest price 16 to 1s, and we can get that with William Hill. So 16 plus the 1 William Hill at the end, and that means so far with 588 on Camilla's Choice, that will return us £100. And we've now laid out 43.98, so £6 and 2p is left. And our third selection is Innisfree Lass, and this is trading second favourite. 15 to 8 with William Hill is the best price. So 1.875 plus the 1 is 2.875. We'll put William Hill at the end there. And again, we know we've only got £6 and 2p left, so that's the maximum we can have on that one. So the calculator on that last one, £6 and 2p times 2.875 for 15 to 8 would give us back £17. So we would lose £33 if that won, but it's only what we've done with the rest of the money that's over. And I'm on my way, and Camilla's Choice, if one of those was to come in first, it would return £100. So that's Southwell covered for tomorrow. Now the second meeting is Fontwell. So let's see, fixtures. Right, okay, we'll start here with Fontwell in the 213. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 go to post in the first race at Fontwell. Yep, and our top selection here is all authorised. And again, this is favourite, and it's not a good price at all. Now, luckily, Virgin Bet are one of the best there, because Bet365 and William Hill are 1 to 3 and 4 to 11. So 2 to 5 is 0.4, plus the 1 is 1.4. And we know that anything that is under 2 can have a maximum of £50 to win. You can't back nothing else in the race, and that's the only bet that you can have. And that would be with Virgin Bet. So going into the second race now at Fontwell. Which is the 245. I don't like all these adverts that keep popping up and everything. That's why I don't use some of these sites. And we've got 5 that go to post in the second race. And our top selection here is Max Dynamo. It used to be a good horse that years ago. And Max Dynamo is the outsider. Biggest price, 8 to 1 at Bet365. So 8 plus the 1 is 9. And at the end, we'll just put in 365. We would need £11.11 on that, on stakes, to return £100 for Max Dynamo. Our second selection, Dr. Kananga. And Dr. Kananga is favourite at the moment. And it's pretty much 11 to 8 across the board. I mean, there is a 6 to 4 down there. I don't even know the name of them. I'd rather stick to the more obvious ones. And there's 13 to 8 there at Bet365 anyway, so that's the best price I've seen. So again, 1.625 plus the 1 gives you 13 to 8. Again, that's at Bet365. And a stake of £38.10 on Dr. Kananga would return £100, and that means now we've got left 79 pence. And that 79p will go on Tip Top Mountain. And Tip Top Mountain currently trading one of the best prices there, 7 to 1 with Bet365. So 7 plus 1 is 8. Again, putting it on 365. And we can't do anything better than that. So the price at the moment would be 8 times 0.79 would give us back £6.32. Nothing interesting or exciting on that horse at all. But we've got Max Dynamo and the favourite, Dr. Kananga, both running for £100 return. Then we'll go into the next race at Fontwell, which will be the third there. And tell me if you prefer to do these high street bookmakers rather than the exchanges. That's why I'm just showing you tonight what it's all about, and most people understand this. So our top selection in the 318 is going to be Only Fools. And Only Fools is currently the second favourite, and the best price there with one of your high street bookmakers is 3-1, and we've got William Hills, so we'll take the 3-1 plus the 1 is 4, put a WH at the end there. The stake of £25 here will return you £100, and our second selection would be Sailing Grace, and Sailing Grace is favourite. Best price across the board again is Bet365 at 9-4. So with the pound added, you want 3.25. This is going to be a 365 bet. And the maximum stake we can have on this is £25 because we've used £25 on the first selection. So 25 times 9-4, because I don't need to say a trading price or an exchange, these are just prices. 9-4 plus your money back on 25 is going to give you £81. And again, we've only staked 50, so if the favourite comes through, Sailing Grace, there's a £31 profit, 81 return. And if Only Fools wins, which is second favourite, you're going to get £100 back for that one. So there's a guaranteed profit if one of the first two in the betting was to come in. Then moving on to the 348 at Fontwell, just a 4 go to post here. Let's see if they all run. Yep, there we go so far. All 4 will go to post as it stands. And our selection to win is Mumbles. I'm sure I do that when I'm talking. Now Mumbles is second favourite. Best price 11-4 with Bet365. So 11-4 plus the 1 would be 3.75. And again, in that box there, we'll put 365. The stake here would be £26.67 to return £100, and that's for Mumbles. Our second selection is Sangiovese, something like that. And that's trading. Well, it's not trading. The price at the moment at William Hill looks the best there at 10-3 or 100-30. Burlet and Bertie, all them prices. At the point again. And this time, this bet would be at William Hill. We can just about get that on. So, yeah. We need a stake of £23.08 on Sangiovese. I'm going to leave it like that. £23.08 to stake on that would return £100. And that means we've only got 26 pence left. And I always say to you, whether you want to just leave that in your pocket or add that 26 pence to the last horse, that's up to you. But it would go on Word Has It. And Word Has It is the outsider. Best price there. Yeah, it's pretty much 11-2 at William Hill. So plus the point. And the calculator out for that third one. This will be up to you whether you do it at all. 11-2 plus your money back. It would have been quicker to have done that in the end. Right, 26 pence times 11 to 2 plus your money back would give you £1.69, hardly worth doing, to be honest. So you've got Mumbles and Sangiovese. Both of these two would return you £100. So you've got half of the field running for you there. Into the 418 at Fontwell. And at least it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be, because most of the bets here are at William Hill or Bet365, and we've got a couple at Virgin Bet. So there's, you don't need 20 odd accounts like I thought you would. Well, not on day one. So 5 go to post here. And our top selection is Idealco. And Idealco is second favourite at 5 to 2, and that best price is at Bet365. So 5 to 2, add the point, becomes 3.5. The stake there would require £28.57 to return £100. And our second selection is the Scorpion King. And I knew I'd spelled that wrong. And the Scorpion King, this is fourth in the betting. Best price is 6 to 1 at William Hill. So plus the 1 would make that 7. And those two, well, let's do the stake first. The stake of £14.29 on the Scorpion King would return you £100. And the stake so far of £42.86, which leaves us £7.14 to play with. Our third selection, Mr. Merchan or Merkin, which is favourite, and the best price that you'll get anywhere at the moment is William Hill again, and this is 15 to 8 or 2.875, including your money back. And it's too much money that would require there, so we're only going to put the £7.14 on that one. And that gives us a stake of £50 altogether. So £7.14 at 15 to 8 with your money back would be £20. So you would get £20 back. You'd lose 30 on the bet if it won, but something would be better than nothing. And we've got Idealco and the Scorpion King running for us to return £100. Then staying at Fontwell, we now want to look into the 448. And that tells us that's the last race there. That annoys me at the bottom. Right, so there are 5 that are going to post in this race. And our main selection, or top selection there, is Hello Sunshine. And Hello Sunshine is third favourite at the moment. Best price is 4 to 1. And yet again, usual bookmakers, so that's handy. Add the 1 is 5. That's on at Bet365. £20 stake on Hello Sunshine would return £100. Then our second selection is Bellamy's Grey. Bellamy's Grey is fourth in the betting, and the best price for this one is 11 to 1. And again, this is with Bet365. So 11 plus the 1 is 12. This would require stakes of £8.33 to return £100. Our third selection would be, I don't even know, TWP Story. Twoop. Oh, I wouldn't know how they pronounce that until the race. But this is favourite, and the best price with 365 or William Hill would be 11 to 8. So your 1.375 plus the 1. And we'll put William Hill. It doesn't really matter because it's one of those two. and you can see there that that's too much money. We staked £28.33 on the first two selections, so that says £21.67 is left. And there we go, that would return, well, it wouldn't return anything because I haven't worked it out, but the three together is a £50 stake. And TWP Story, I'm going to call it, would have the £21.67 on at 11 to 8 and would return us £51. So basically the third selection would just get our money back, and then it would mean the top two are running for us to return £100. That's Hello Sunshine and Bellamy's Grey. So again, we've got 3 out of the 5 there, but if TWP Story does win, then it's the money back. But it's still worth that kind of cover bet. And now we go into the twilight or evening meeting starting at 5:30. This is Newcastle on the all-weather. And to be fair, we've been doing quite well at these all-weather meetings recently. Southwell hasn't been great, but we've been doing all right overall. But 2 days are never the same, I can assure you, in gambling. So let's see how many go to post here. Right, they've got 8 runners in the first race. And our top selection here is Bella Blue Sky. So Bella Blue Sky is third favourite, best price 7 to 2. No need to guess where, that's at bet 365. So at the point to get 4.5, and the stakes there would be £22.22 to return £100 for Bella Blue Sky. Our second selection is Heather Down Hero. Now Heather Down Hero, that's quite a way down as well. Best price is 10 to 1 at William Hill. And the good thing about this when you're using these high street bookmakers is that if you wanted to put your bets on now, all of them, and then just disappear and not bother, then you can do that. But whether it works out better in the long run is another thing. Right, so that's a bet at William Hill. This is now a stake of £9.09 to return £100 for Heather Down Hero. That's our second selection. Our third selection is Yak Baha. Now Yak Baha is also another one that's sort of mid in the betting. 7 to 1 is the best I've seen so far. Yep, 7 to 1, and yep, that's our old friends bet 365. Add the point on the 7. That tells us we want a stake of £12.50 on that to return £100. That's Yak Baha. Our stakes now are £43.81, and we've got £6.19 left to stake. Our fourth selection, Gold Aura. Gold Aura, William Hill at 100 to 30 is pretty much the best. So again, with the point added, 4.333333. We can't afford that much money on it. All we've got left is £6.19. So that's what we're going to do, and the calculator. So £6.19 times 100 to 30 with your money back would give you £26 back. So it would be half your money, but you've still got another 3 running for you. So Bella Blue Sky, Heather Down Hero and Yak Baha would give you a return of £100, and Gold Aura would give you half of your stake back. Moving into the 6 o'clock at Newcastle. And that's 6 o'clock at Newcastle. There's 10 go to post in the second race. And our top selection here is How Bizarre. And How Bizarre is bizarre, I think now. It's showing at 14 to 1. I think that's the best. And that's with Hills. So add your point onto that to get 15. And the stakes on How Bizarre would be £6.67 to return £100. Our second selection here is Big Nasty, and Big Nasty is favourite currently, and your best price there is 3 to 1, so add the point to give you 4, and that will be with Bet365. And stakes of £25 will return £100 for Big Nasty. Our third selection, Palace Lord. And Palace Lord is second favourite currently. And 7 to 2 is the best price that I've seen. So add the point would give you 4.5. We'll put it at William Hills. It doesn't really matter. They're the same as Bet365, they're both 7 to 2. Stakes here, I'm not sure we're going to be able to get that on. 31.67 we laid out in the first two races. That leaves us £18.33 maximum to have on Palace Lord. And the stakes there, £18.33 times 7 to 2 plus your money back gives us £82 return. So if Palace Lord was to win, the return would be £82, be a £32 profit on 50 staked. And we'd have two running for us, How Bizarre and Big Nasty. If one of those two win, then it would be £100 return. Then moving into the 6:30 at Newcastle. Alright, we'll have a look down here and we can see there are 9 runners. No non-runners at the moment tomorrow. And our favourite here would be Golden Rainbow. So Golden Rainbow is currently the favourite at 6 to 4. We can get 13 to 8 in a couple of rubbish bookmakers. I say rubbish bookmakers, I mean less known. So at 6 to 4, I'd rather stay at Hills for that. And with the point, that will be 2.5. And William Hill. And our stakes there would be £40 to return £100. And that would leave us £10 left for the rest of the makeup. So Another Angel is our second favourite, and it is second favourite. And the best price anywhere there is 9 to 2 at both Hills and Bet365. Would require £18.18. We know we've only got £10 left. That's what we would have to put on there. I don't need the calculator for this one. 5.5 times 10 tells us that we would return £55. So it would be our money back on the second selection. And if Golden Rainbow won, it would be the full £100 return. So the second favourite there would be basically a free bet if that came in. Now we're going to move on to the Newcastle 7 o'clock. But I haven't minded doing this, it's still okay, but it'd be interesting if we had the proper prices at Betfair in the evening to see what the difference would be. So our selection here would be Miss Rainbow, our top selection, and it is second favourite at the moment at 4-1, and that would be with William Hill. So plus the 1 would be 5, and this would require a stake of £20 to return £100, and that is Miss Rainbow. Our second selection there is Bestie, and Bestie at the moment is favourite, best price 7-2 at Bet365 plus the 1 point again. This would require stakes of £22, 22 pence to return £100, and with those two we've laid out 42.22 so far. We've got 7.78 to play with. And our third selection is Miner's Gamble, and Miner's Gamble is the third favourite, and this is currently 9-2, and again that is with William Hill. So plus the 1 will be 5.5, and with those first two we've got £7.78 left. We can't put what we need to on that, and the £7.78 times 9-2 with the money back would give us £42. So we would only lose £8 if Miner's Gamble was to win, but we do have Miss Rainbow and Bestie running for us to return £100. The 7:30 race there is a no bet, so just a line straight through that. That has horses in it that haven't run under rules before or ever seen a race course. And into the penultimate race of the evening, this is the 8 o'clock at Newcastle. We can see there 9 go, no scratchings at the moment, or non-runners. And our top selection is Inexplicable, and Inexplicable is the favourite. Best price is 5-2. Bit short down this end, 6-4, but 5-2 is the best price. So add the 1 becomes 3.5. This will be with Bet365, and a stake of £28.57 would return £100 for Inexplicable. Our second selection is Dandy's Gold. Dandy's Gold is third in at the moment, and basically right across the card here 5-1. So add the point is 6. That'll be at William Hill. And our stake there of £16.67 would return £100 for Dandy's Gold. I don't think that's going to leave us very much. That will leave us £4.76. And our third selection is Child of Lear, and that is second favourite. Best price 11-4 with William Hills again. So add the point 3.75, and we know we can only put £4.76 on it to get our stakes up to £50. So we go 4.76 times 11-4 plus your money back means we would return not far short of £18. Yes, it would be a lose, but it would be better to draw 18 than 0, and we would have Inexplicable and Dandy's Gold running for us for £100 returns. And the last race of the evening is the Newcastle 8:30. 8 go to post here. We'll just make sure they're all running. Yeah, they're all running at the moment. Our top selection is the Vic, and the Vic is, what's the outsider? 40 to 1 with Bet365 or William Hill. So 40 to 1, obviously, plus your 1 there. And a stake would be £2.44 to return £100. Then our second selection would be Zoo Marty, and Zoo Marty is currently second favourite. Best price all round 3 to 1 at Bet365. So add the point again, gives you 4. So £25 stake would return you £100 for Zumati. Into the third selection, this would be Admiral Nelson, and that's halfway down in the betting. That's currently 10 to 1 best price with Bet365, so add the 1 brings you to 11, and we'd need a stake of £9 and 9 pence on Admiral Nelson to return £100. So we've laid out 36.53 with 13.47 still left. Our fourth selection, Man of Arn, and this is the favourite, and the best price is 11 to 4 with William Hill, so plus the 1 gives you 3.75. We haven't got enough to put on that for the 26.67 required, so we will put 13.47 on this one. And that's our stake of £50. So £13.47 times 11 to 4 with your money back would give us £50. So that bet basically would be a cover bet, Man of Arn, and we would have 3 running for us. That would be the Vic, Zumati and Admiral Nelson to return us £100. So that's the last race. So I'm going to do a recap. It's not a quick recap, but we're going to go through it. So we'll start from the beginning again. And this is up to you whether you want to place these bets early as you can if you're going to work, or if you want to wait till tomorrow at dinner time when we'll do the Betfair prices, or whether you're happy with what we've got here. So we'll go back to the Southwell 155. Our selection there is Samurai 1 to return £100, and the rest of the money would be Tiny Tantrum. Into race 2, the 225, our top selection here is Great Samurai and Post No Bills. Both of those two will return £100, and Fiston the Beacon would take the rest of the cash. The 3 o'clock at Southwell would be a no bet. The 3:30 at Southwell will also be a no bet. The 4 o'clock at Southwell, Ruler of the River would return £100, and Our Pink Lady would take the rest of the money. Southwell 4:30, Kian and Flying Fortune would return £100, and Hostile Hotelier would take the rest of it. Southwell 5 o'clock, I'm on My Way and Camilla's Choice would return £100, and Innisfree Lass would give you the odd. Into Fontwell 2:13, our first selection and only selection would be all authorised because this is odds on. Into the 2:45 at Fontwell, we've got Max Dynamo and Dr. Kananga to return £100, and Tip Top Mountain would be taking the rest. Fontwell 3:18, our only selection, if you like, to return £100 would be Only Fools, and Sailing Grace would take the rest of the money. Fontwell 348. Our top selections there would be Mumbles and Sangiovese. They would return £100, and Word Has It would be the odd money. Fontwell 418. Two selections here. Ideal Co and the Scorpion King would return £100, and Mr. Mercan would be the odd money. Fontwell 448. Two selections here. Hello Sunshine and Bellamy's Grey, and TWP Story or TWP Story would return the rest. Moving into the all-weather at Newcastle, starting at 5:30, we have three selections. Bella Blue Sky, Heather Down Hero, and Yakaba would return £100, and Gold Aura would be the little bit. 6 o'clock at Newcastle, two selections here, How Bizarre and Big Nasty, and the rest of the money would be on Palace Lord. 6:30 at Newcastle, just a one selection there for £100 return would be Golden Rainbow, and our second selection would be Another Angel for the rest of it. 7 o'clock Newcastle, we got two that will return £100 here. It's Miss Rainbow and Bestie, and Miner's Gamble would be the rest. At 7:30 we put a line through that, that's a no bet. The penultimate, the 8 o'clock at Newcastle, we got two running for us, Inexplicable and Dandy's Gold, and our third selection, Child of Lear, would make the rest up. And the final race, the 8:30 at Newcastle, we got three running for us, the Vic Zumati, Admiral Nelson to return £100, and Man of Arn would take the rest. So looking at the high street bookmakers at what we've got there, it pretty much looks like to me that William Hills and Bet365 will take most of the bets, and there was a couple at Virgin Bet. So you wouldn't need too many accounts, and I think if I was going to start that tomorrow on high street bookmakers, I would sign up for those three accounts. But of course, by the time you go on there, the prices could have changed. You really need those accounts in advance. But it's the same on Betfair. You can go on there and the prices are moving constant when you've got 5 or 10 minutes to go. So you might think, oh, it's 5-1. You keep pressing it. It doesn't take the bet because it's gone down to 5.8 from 6. And then you have to adjust all your figures. It is difficult on the exchanges if you don't know what you're doing on there. So that is all the selections for tomorrow. That's 3 meetings, Southwell, Fontwell and Newcastle. So as I say, it's not been a bad day again today, but good luck to everyone again tomorrow. And if you've got any comments or you don't understand anything but you want to try this, then just let me know. There are other systems, well, they're all going to be based around my points here. But I do have a few more systems that I'm going to show tomorrow. It's all going to be based on one race. And I'll let you know all the details tomorrow. I don't know whether to do one video or split it into 3 or 4 and tell you how it is. But that's enough for tonight now. So we'll catch up tomorrow, and happy punting.